The Lottery by Shirley Jackson is about a small rural town where a lottery is held every June. In the lottery, every family draws a slip of paper, and the family who draws the winning piece of paper gets to draw again within their own family to decide a winner. Tessie Hutchinson draws the winning piece of paper and is then stoned by the whole town, including her own children. Shirley Jackson was born on December 19th, 1916. She grew up as kind of an outsider in life. She was always into writing horror stories, and one of her first ever short stories that was published was called Janice, and it was about a teenager trying to commit suicide. Arguably, her biggest story was The Lottery because it was confusing and shocking to people. According to IMDb, her terrifying short story, The Lottery, a horror tale rife with symbolism, is still puzzled over by critics and academics to this day. The Lottery is regarded as an American classic and as one of the best pieces of short fiction in the history of American literature. When this quote goes to show that her work and The Lottery itself was very popular and it really kind of blew her up. And she was a good author before, but The Lottery really, took her to the next level. Also, according to the New York Times, the story went viral in the way a short story could back then. Couples read it together and debated what it meant. Over 150 letters flooded into the New Yorker's offices, more mail than the magazine had ever received for a work of fiction. The Lottery came out right after World War II ended, and it was at a time where nobody really trusted each other because it was during the Cold War. The government had a lot of control over citizens, and, like in the story, the population went with what the government said, and The Lottery is a commentary on that. The plot of The Lottery is that Mr. Summers organizes an event for the town and he runs the lottery. He puts pieces of paper in a box and every family draws paper. The marked paper means your family wins the lottery. The Hutchinsons win, and they put more paper in the box for a second round of drawing where the Hutchinsons family has to draw again. Tessie is chosen and is then stoned to death. The story is weird because throughout it, the lottery isn't treated as a big deal, and there is mention of lost paraphernalia, that meaning that nobody even cares about. They just do it anyways. It is really weird and hard to understand on purpose, which makes it very interesting. The characters in the lottery are all really weird as well. They all just follow the lottery obediently and treat it as another average Tuesday. Mr. Summers says they all need to hurry up and get it done so they can go back to work. Some of the townspeople joke and laugh, and Tessie doesn't even seem to care at all until she is at risk. And her final words are that the lottery is unfair, but like I said, she didn't care before she was picked. Tessie's own husband, Bill, tells her to quiet down right before she gets stoned, showing he doesn't even really care that his wife is going to die. Also, the townspeople, and especially her own children, helping stone Tessie is so easily and willingly is crazy as well. I think that the characters are all insane, but it helps the story in a mystery of it all, which is what Shirley Jackson was going for, and I think she did a really good job with it. The setting of the lottery is a long time ago in a small town, probably in America, where they do rituals to still and try to get better crops to eat. In the story, it says that nearby towns have stopped doing the lottery, so I assume this is one of, if not the last town to still do it. I think the setting is the best place for the story to take place because small towns hundreds of years ago usually did do crazy things like the Salem witch trials or believing in witches in general. The setting makes the story more believable because I don't think it would be able to have happened in today's day and age. The theme of the lottery is that we should not just follow people or traditions blindly. We should be able to make our own decisions. According to litcharts.com, Tessie's attempts to protest until the end show the futility of a single voice standing up against the power of tradition and a majority afraid of nonconformists. This basically means that Tessie is being punished by the majority even though she did nothing wrong. She was just unlucky. And she tried to protest against it, and it didn't work because the majority were just following traditions blindly and not looking to adapt. They just killed. They just killed her. And this is also what America was beginning to go through with the beginning of the Cold War and everybody being scared of everybody and people being considered communists even when they weren't. The style of the lottery is very slow-paced horror. It has pretty simple language that's easy to understand, but the story itself is hard to understand. It's confusing. And it just ends randomly right as they go to stone her, which makes the ending very mysterious and kind of scary because you don't know what's happening next. It just leaves it very open-ended, on what happens next. It just ends, which is part of what Shirley Jackson was going for, and it is a very unique story just in general. In conclusion, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson is one of the most influential, short stories of all time. It is very confusing and it ends randomly, but it is really good in what it's trying to do, and it really just, sparked a reaction from America and everybody being, confused and kind of like obsessed over it. And yeah, it's a very good story, and Shirley Jackson did a really good job with it.